This is a flat or flush door with no mouldings or panels on it. It is a fire rating door, heavy wood grain. It has been applied one coat of primer, oil based, and one coat of oil base undercoat. First we start rubbing the door down with a used abrasive paper or fine abrasive paper, starting at the edge and working at the top of the door downwards. Make sure that the door is wedged so it doesn't move around while you're painting. The second stage is that we're dusting off the door, starting at the edge, working it from the top down to the bottom of the door. Now we will start to apply the oil base brilliant white gloss finish, starting at the edge of the door. And this edge is where the hinges are, or butts, and we're using two different types of brushes, one to cut in around the hinge and another brush to paint the flat surface of the edge. It's very important to keep all ironmongery and hinges clean, as it looks very amateurish. You can also use a damp cloth to clean the door down, or a tack cloth, which you would get the best result. Here we're just starting to paint the face side of the door, and we're just cutting that bit on the edge so the roller will not hit the frame, the door frame. Starting at the top, start rolling the paint on. You can roll it horizontally or vertically, depending upon your choice. And it's important to put this sort of similar amount of paint on the surface, so don't over spread the gloss paint, which is very easily done. We just laid off horizontally, and now we'll get a brush that has been wiped clean with the paint on it, and very lightly furrowing the grain of the wood, laying off just with the bristles of the paintbrush in the direction of the wood grain. We're painting this door in bands coming down. Now we've started the second band and using the gloss roller, which you can see we're not going up to immediately up to the place where we left off, but we're working up to it. There's one or two bits that's come out off the roller sleeve. We just take them off, laying off with the roller, then vertically with the paintbrush. Here we have used masking tape around the door handle, because sometimes you can't remove the door handle when you come to paint the door, but on this occasion we've masked it up just to show you how to paint around a door handle. Obviously you would remove this to paint the whole door and it would be a lot easier to do so. Here we are, starting horizontally again, filling that band in, and we're laying off vertically, following the grain of the wood. And again we're using a brush that's spinning paint, but no paint on the brush to leave any sort of marks on there. Here we're cutting in the bottom of the door so we can roll up to it the last band to paint on the door, and we're keeping that edge wet. And with gloss you really have to move quite fast, you can't daydream, because that wet edge is going off all the time, and you don't want to see a wet edge on the door because it will dry and you can see it. Again just filling in that small bit with more paint. Don't be tempted to brush the gloss out to cover these areas, because we're looking for a consistent, even finish. Just laying off with the roller. Across the door. Sometimes it's better to use a larger brush, 3-inch or a 2-inch. Thank you very much for watching kudostraining.biz, painting and decorating courses.